I greet you, my dear Anioma people. I greet you, Nigerians. I want to quickly address some issues that I just saw in yesterday's Nation's newspaper, which was September 15, 2025. A certain individual caused to be published a letter titled Igbo Unification as Assault on Minorities' Rights. And this individual, to me, is faceless because I have tried to check his background. I've tried to fact check his true identity. He, at the end of the letter, wrote that his name is Solo Igumbo. Apparently, he lives in the UK, precisely Crown Hill, Meeting Kennis. I ordinarily wouldn't utter a single word as far as this letter is concerned, because to me it is empty, vacuous, and it is just a portrayal of the emptiness of the author, Solo Igumbo. But the fact that it was published on a national daily, The Nations, I think it is incumbent on those of us who have dedicated our time to the agitation for the unification of Ndi Igbo and the recent agitation for the creation of Anioma state. Failure to react is acquiescence. It is said that silence is golden, but not every time that silence becomes golden. So I am reacting to address that particular individual and to address those who may be persuaded with the emptiness or persuaded by the emptiness of that letter. First and foremost, I have tried to think the nexus, or rather the link between agitating to unify Ndi Igbo and how that violates the rights of minorities. Can I agitate for my rights and at the same time violate my rights? Because the agitation for Ndi Igbo was born out of decades of identity crisis that didn't begin with us. In fact, the identity crisis of my people, for example, the Ukwuani Ndokwa people, has been on before I was born. And in our time, I personally and some of my comrades, we have told ourselves that where our parents failed, the problem they failed to resolve, that we have to resolve it for our children. For the greater part of my adult life, I have lived outside of Igbo land. I have lived outside of Ukwuani land, the geographical area known as Ndokwa or Ukwuani. I have lived far from that geographical area. Yet, wherever I go to, the moment an Hausa man sees my name or Fochi, the moment a Yoruba man sees my name or Fochi, the moment a Bini man sees my name or Fochi, the moment an Esan man sees my name or Fochi, the moment an Urobo sees my name as Ofochi, Ijo, Ishekiri, Isoko, the moment they see that my name is Ofochi, or they hear, what you hear them say is, this one is an Igbo man. Initially, I will say, no, I am Ukwuani. They will say, oh, Bende Igbo. The elderly ones will say, oh, Midwestern Igbos. Some will say, oh, Delta Igbos. So, for a person like me at my level of enlightenment, outsiders know me more than myself. And an attempt to resolve that particular problem, someone somewhere is saying it is a violation of minorities' rights. The question I have asked, and I am putting to that individual, how does agitation to unify Ndi Igbo, how does it violate the rights of the Benis? How does it violate the rights of the Esan? How does it violate the rights of the Afemais? How does it violate the rights of the Urobos? How does it violate the rights of the Isokos? How does it violate the rights of the Shekiris? How does it violate the rights of the Ijos? Because these are the minority ethnic groups within the old Bende states, within the old Midwest region. How does agitation for me to be reunited with my kith and kin across the 13 states of Nigeria, how does that amount to violation of the rights of the Benis, the rights of the Urobos, the rights of the Shekiris, and all of the ethnic minorities? That is why at the beginning I said that individual is empty, because international conventions, the African Charter, gives every people, let me use the right word, the peoples, give the peoples the right to determine their political and their economic future. So if I, an Ukwuani man, and my fellow Ukwuani Ndokwa people are agitating to determine their political and economic future, that it should be with their kith and kin across the 13 states, how does that violate the rights of the minority? How does that assert the rights of the minorities? How? How does it violate the rights of the minorities? Because there is no way that an agitation to determine the future of Ndokwa people, the future of Ika people, the future of the Ikwere people, the future of the Enuani people, the future of all Igbo speaking people, up to the Benue state, Kogi state, Akwa Ibom state, Cross River state, River state, and of course those in Edo, Delta, where I come from. How does that violate the rights of any minority? Or let me use his words. How does that assault the rights of the minorities? Does that violate the rights of the Efik people? Does it violate the rights of the Bibio people? Does it violate the rights of the Oron people? How? So you see, this individual is as empty as his letter. Then he, out of his ignorance and bile, because this person is full of hatred, he's full of, in fact, he opposes what is good. He attempts to attack distinguished senators Ned Moko and Nwebonyi. Senator Nwebonyi. How on earth will somebody who is mentally stable will liken the agitation for Anioma state, or a statement that alludes to the fact that Anioma are Igbos? How does that amount to assault on the rights of the minorities? For the information of that individual, the agitation for Anioma state predates Senator Ned Moko. Senator Ned Moko is just the last man with the baton in the relay for the actualization of Anioma state. He's holding in fact, he's finishing the race. He is the one finishing the race. That race started during the First Republic. It started during the First Republic. Of course, history will tell anyone who cares to just type on the Google the history of Anioma. History will tell you that the lives of Chief Dennis Osadebe, the lives of Senator Nosike Igbo, the lives of Professor Chike Dozien, Professor B.I.C. Joma, Chief Humphrey Werebo, Senator Dan Azinge, our dear Ralph Uwechwe, these men and many others led the agitation for the creation of Anioma state and for the reunion, for the Anioma people to be reunited with their kith and kin, across the Niger. There has never been a time anyone had come up to say such agitation is or was an assault on the rights of the minorities. But one individual from nowhere, who probably because of his hatred, or he is being sponsored by the enemies of Anioma state, the enemies of Igbo unification. Probably he is being bankrolled by the agents of status quo, those who think that the Anioma people should remain subservient to them, is coming out to say rubbish out of the emptiness in his head. He is such a simpleton to have likened, to have linked the agitation for Igbo unification and Anioma state creation to an assault. I think that person, that individual, Solo Igumbo, is an idiot. With due respect, is an idiot, because the definition of assault, we all know the agitation for Anioma state does not come under the definition of assault. I have not seen, honestly, I have not seen an Urobo man who is saying that the agitation for Igbo unification or for Anioma state is an assault on his rights. We may differ, we may disagree, but nobody has come out to say it's an agitation on their right, because we have not encroached on their territory, on their land. We have not encroached. Can I be within my geographical location, within my territory, within my land, and be asserting my own rights? It is sad. I want to use this opportunity to plead with every true son of Anioma, every true Igbo son and daughter, to support the movement for the unification of Ndi Igbo and the agitation for the creation of Anioma state. Let us do whatever it takes to encourage our distinguished Senator Ned Moko. I want to appeal to our people to come out en masse at every given opportunity to support distinguished Senator Ned Moko. He is God sent. He is God sent to finish the race for the agitation for Anioma state creation. And I'm sending this message to his political opponents who think that they can continue to maintain the status quo that has kept Ndi Anioma, that has kept us subservient. When the time comes, you will know that there are millions of us. We are a legion. There are millions of us in support of Senator Ned Moko. When the time comes, I think you opposing Senator Ned Moko in Anioma land, you are digging your political grave. You are digging your political grave. Anioma bu nkenyi. Anioma bu kenyi. It is ours. It's not your exclusive preserve. When the time comes, you will go into political oblivion. You will. because you cannot oppose that which is aimed at resolving our identity crisis as a people, because an Eka man is known by other tribes to be an Igbo man. He's the only one that does not know that he's an Igbo man. An Ukwuani man is known by every other tribe that is an Igbo. He is the only one that does not know that is an Igbo. The same thing with an Enoani man. The same thing with the Ikweres. And now we are coming together to say, no, let us embrace our identity. Let us stop running away from who we are. And somebody is saying no to that. Igbo unification has come to stay, and nobody can stop it except God and our ancestors. There is no shame in embracing who you are. Rather, there is shame in denying who you are. There is huge shame in denying who you are. Does it make sense that Azubike from Eka, Azubike from Ukwuani, Azubike from Enuani, Azubike from Ikwere, does it make sense that he will tell people that he is not an Igbo, and the people will tell him you are an Igbo? Whatever is affecting the Igbos affect you. How can I, Ofochi, say I am not an Igbo? Meanwhile, all my allies who are non-Igbos, my Yoruba allies, my Hausa allies, my Bini allies, my Ijaw allies, all of these persons, once they see my name, they outrightly know where I come from. Does it make sense for me to continue to live in self-denial? I put this to that individual. And those who think like him, like Bob Marley said, emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. It is about time that Anioma, if you are an Eka person, you are an Ukwuani person, you are an Enuani person, and you don't see yourself as an Igbo person. If you are an Ikwere person, you don't see yourself as an Igbo person. I leave you with this. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. Because none but you and ourselves can free our own mind. To every one of you that have been in the agitation for the unification of Igbo, and to our dear distinguished Senator Ned Moko, please keep the good work. Keep the good work. We thank you all. I thank you all. God bless you. Amen.